Your guys will get started now. Can you guys hear me? No issues, right? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So DevOps Funda is, guys, I just got a question just explaining. Should we build multiple times? No. So the DevOps Funda is you should build once and release a number of times, how many times you want it, by just making only configuration. That too automatically. Should not be any manual. That means, let us say in continuous integration, it gets built, right? But how it is getting built as soon as you make change. Without change, it doesn't get built, right? So for any code change, you have to build it. But if there is no code change, you should not build it. So that is as simple as that. Correct. Correct. So when you enable continuous integration and continuous deployments, but as soon as you make a change, your build will happen, and then you get the artifacts. The release pipeline will take those artifacts. It will not build it again. So when you are deploying to another environment, it is not again building it. No, you will not have those tasks. So it's a separator, right? Because if you keep everything, there is no need of having the build and deployments. It's only a just release. So you cannot segregate all these different options. Let us say I want to build only once, but if you have everything in the release pipeline, then you will build every time. So it's a separation of concept. That means you need to segregate options. Okay. So we discussed it, right? Yesterday, let's do some more operations on the database project. Let us say for sprint one, we make changes and we deploy it to the dev environment, from dev to queue environment. Again, I try to make some changes in the dev database and let's deploy it so that you will know more than once how it works. Okay. Guys, if you're not speaking, please go on mute.
Yeah, Purna, this is Shiva. Sorry for the interruption.
Manoj, right?
Yeah, Manoj.
Yeah, Manoj. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, yesterday when I tried to access that, I deployed artifact onto IIS server, and when I tried to access from browser, it is giving me error 403. You are not authorized to access this one, so it is giving that kind of error.
So that could be your IIS permission issues. 403. So you deploy, your deployed code is available on the server, right?
Yeah, deployed code is available in the server, but even though I could not able to access that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So your deployment is successful. Okay, you are having some issues with your IIS. So 403 is a forbidden, right?
Yeah, forbidden. Yeah.
So 403 is a forbidden issue. So that means your user, I mean, whatever the user you are using in that server might be having some permission issue with your IIS. So that has to be, debugged. We can't do it from the release pipeline. So we need to check it. So we can discuss, offline. Let's continue with this one. At the end of the class, we can see. But 403 forbidden comes in multiple ways. It can be it can be a permission issue. It can be some configuration issue. It can be anything because 403 is a very generic. Any issue you get, right? Except 401, which is authentication or something. Rest everything is related to multiple things. For multiple errors, you will get the same error. So we can discuss after this class because that is not something related to release pipeline or build pipeline. Okay, that comes under some IAS administration. We'll talk to that.
And
okay.
One more thing, and in my machine, I could not able to find this default website under IAS. So yesterday you created one folder under website site, no? That is a CI/CD lab. So how to create that series under CI/CD lab? You have created an ad application, no?
No, you should be having the default website. That is the IAS default behavior. If it is not there, you can give your own name. It will create.
So how to create a default website in my machine that is not there, that is not visible.
So if it is not there, you create your own. I don't know your IAS settings because IAS comes with the default website. If you don't find a default website, probably you screwed your IAS. Then what you can do, we done that release pipeline, right? In the release pipeline, if the website doesn't exist, it will create it. You see
Okay.
that option is create or update. If the website exists, it will update the configuration, whatever you are doing. If the website doesn't exist, it will create. So it shouldn't be any problem.
Okay.
Let me open that pipeline. That's what I mean, instead of talking on the air. Guys, basically, I will take this kind of questions at the end of the session, so we can continue with the flow. And whoever is interested in knowing the answer for those questions, they can continue. Otherwise, they can. Okay, because everybody is
Okay.
having the offices as well. In the interest of everyone, Manoj. Okay. And let's keep. So let's edit it, and I will show you quickly, so that I can continue with the other things. So if you see here, right? So what's the action here? Create or update. So default website comes with every IIS installation. If you don't find it, what happens? Whatever is the name you are giving here under the website name, it will be created. So you don't need to worry. That's why it is create or update. Okay.
Okay.
So okay. Let me give. Let me go to my portal.azure.com first, because I'm dealing with the now database DevOps project, right? So my IP might have changed because when I open the solution, it gave me some error occurred or something. That could be because of database connect. So I mean, I was giving some permission, right? So you go to, there is a firewall settings. So go to set server firewall. So my current IP address is 183.83.38.176. Okay, it is not there here. Okay, that's why I'm getting the other, because this is a restricted access to the database. So I will go and add my current IP address of my laptop so that I can access my database. Okay, that's it. Let's go and save it. So now what I do, let's go to our database. Guys, this is what you seen, right? There is only one sample table. That's what we created. As I told you, the source database schema will also be available in the database project. That is under schema model. Okay. And then your pre-deployment, post-deployment is not related to your database, because this is something a DBA do it manually based on the project requirement. Of course, he can go and keep their scripts under this pre and post deployment as a .sql file. And this is the file what is generated when we made changes to the dev database and applied some activities like refresh, import, and generate. Okay. Now I will go and make some more changes to my dev database because I'm in Spring 2, and let's see. It should generate another .sql file. Okay, under migrations folder. Okay, so that when I release it, right, it will release only the second file, not the first file. Okay, let's go and so that's the reason we are using the database DevOps. Otherwise, we don't need this. Okay. So let's go to my SQL Server Management Studio. So we'll create one procedure and we create one table so that you covering the other objects as well. So this is the same database server, Azure Demo DB Purna, and this is my user ID password. Let's connect. Yes, but this is restricted because now I went ahead and added my IP address to the firewall of the database. That's why I'm able to access. Now, even if I give you my database server, you will not be able to access it because I did not provide access to your server. Because always database servers are not exposed to internet. Only web servers are exposed to internet. Can you just yeah. I already done because the beauty of yeah, when I click on add client, you will get the so that's the beauty of the cloud, right? You don't need to go and so what it is doing internally, it is accessing your system and then taking the IP. Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, I need to go to the command prompt and then do IP config, take the IP address. So see, everything is simplified nowadays. Of course, you don't need to be an expert in network administration for these kind of things. But obviously, when you are designing the enterprise system, right, you need to be an expert in the network design because you need to understand IP address ranges, subnets, virtual nets, how they work together. There are a number of concepts which you can't do. So let me go to my databases and then dev database. And then I'm going to add one table. It's very easy here. Let's go and create a table. You can do the same thing from the Visual Studio as well. So because the same interface is available in Visual Studio. But I'm just trying to mimic the actual. Because in reality, database people only use SQL Server. Okay. So let's go ahead and let us say some location. I can give this one and then uh, country. So here the number of columns and the names are not important because we only concerned about how we build an file. Okay, I just created one more table. Let's save it. And the name will be, I would say, sample 2. We already have sample table. I just given sample 2 just for identification purpose. Done. Cool. So let's go and create one stored procedure so that you can go to programmability and then you can create a stored procedure. Let's right click, sorry, expand under store procedures, right click and then say store procedure. So I'll just give some name here, remove that sample procedure. I'm not going to have any parameters. Okay. And then I will say simply select from sample table. That's it. Okay, you can give anything like that. Okay, you don't need this. There are no parameters, right? Just delete it. Okay. Now go and execute it. Done. So our procedure is being created. Let's close it. Let's expand this store procedure. So I have one sample procedure, and then I also have two tables. One is old table. Sample table is a old table, and a new table is sample. So when I use database projects, I should see only two objects. One is a sample2 table, another one is sample stored procedure because those are newly generated. The other one is already on the like QA database. Okay. Now let's go to Visual Studio. So I mean, let's close all this stuff. So go to your tools and then SQL change automation. Okay, so let's retry because when I opened it, it was not able to connect because my IP address was not. Let's retry it. So you see here now we are on Azure Demo Pune. This is a database server name and dev is our database name. Let's refresh it. And the next step is once it gets refreshed, we will go and click on import and generate script. Yes. So that's what we need to generate it automatically, right? So now it goes and compare with the target database, what is there in source and what is there in the target, and generate the differential step. Okay, you see now it it is saying sample procedure and sample two table has to be added to your project. That's what it is saying. Add to project. It is saying here. Okay, it did not create the script for the old one, which is a sample table. Okay, that means it is a differential scripts. You can see the type stored procedure and table, and this is a schema name, and this is a object name. Like this is a procedure name, this is a table name, and it is saying you have to add it to the project. That's it. Now let's go and click on import and generate script. This is important. So imagine if you are having 100 tables, 200 tables, it's not easy to go and verify which table is being modified, which table is being newly added. It's not easy because you need to talk to tons of people who worked on this one, who created this table. So I mean, it will come many challenging issues in terms of collaboration. We want to remove it from the server. You remove from the server. I mean, dev database. The particular thing can be removed. You mean to say you want to remove some stored procedure or table, delete, right? You go and delete from the dev database. When you generate the, again, you repeat the same process, refresh and then import and generate. It will create a delete script. So whether it is create, update or delete anything, it's all about differential script. If it is deleted from the source, it will create a delete script. If it is modified in the source database, then it will create a alter like that. So the database concepts. Now it's been successfully generated. Now you have to say refresh. Okay. Now it is validated. Whatever the scripts have been generated now is been getting verified against whether there are any syntactical issues or whether it can be directly executed on the target database without any issue. Such kind of verifications are going in the back. Let's wait for a minute because it gives me a message. It should give me a message successfully verified. That's why I'm just waiting for it. it is created. That's why I opened that solution explorer. Just wanted to see, but I also wanted to see that message successfully verified. It should give me buried down somewhere. No, if I again do refresh, it will again do. Okay, let's see actually. Because I'm using trial version, right? Let's see. Let's open this one. This is the second step generated, you see, and you see the plus symbol. It's newly, it hasn't been posted to your source control. Let's open this. I only see a store, table here. I don't see a store procedure. So it has, okay. So it has come here, but it should be part of my migration step also, because this is what that gets into release pipeline. It's not yet completed. Should be here. Just let me do one more time, because I'm expecting that procedure also part of this one. Okay. Let me do one more refresh. Okay. Commanded that schema basically. I don't remember whether exactly that comes under because it generates the schema as well as the migration step. Just give it a couple of minutes. Let it do its stuff. Okay. So everything is being generated, right? That's why it did not give any stuff. Let me see if it does anything. Probably it could be right as well. I don't, when sometimes I also do. Okay. No objects currently pending for import. Would you like to check for recent changes? Okay. So if it is not done, then probably it is right, because I also sometimes forget it actually. So let's go and build it and deploy. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That stored procedure also should be. So let it do its stuff, give it a minute, and then we will push it to the repository and build it, and then we can see it. What happens? There are a number of ways for deployment activities, right? Everything is in my mind, but sometimes it gets shuffled there and here. Okay, there are nothing. Let's okay, looks fine. Let me go ahead and check in this database. Okay, go source control and then commit. Then let's say db changes, commit all and push. Okay, done. Now, so if you open your management studio, let's go to QA. Yeah, So I'm just showing that okay, it is not yet deployed to your QA database. Okay, it is still only sample table. Okay, and then it should be empty. There should not be any stored procedures. Okay, yeah. So we are clear. Let's go to our pipeline. So let's go to build pipeline. Yeah, let's edit. So I'm not making any changes because we already created the pipeline. Okay, so let's queue up build. So probably I should have given a different NuGet package name as well. So in the database projects, we given the NuGet package name, NuGet package for right? So it's better to make it automatic because otherwise every time it may override the existing one. So what you can do instead of I just given only string NuGet package, Purna NuGet package or something. You have the variables right, build number etc. You can append that build number to the string so that it becomes every time you will get a new build number and it will be let us say the NuGet package name is Purna NuGet. Then for release one it will be Purna NuGet 1. For release it will be Purna NuGet 2 like that. So we'll show it to you because we are already using the variables. It's only the matter of using that variable name there. We haven't made any changes to the code. So that's why it's quickly done. So let's see database project started. If you are having the paid subscription, right, it will be no need to worry about.
We had automation built like we are adding the for the enable automatic
Continuous integration.
continuous integration. And we trigger that
It's at the pipeline level, not at the individual job. If you want to have it, create a different pipelines. Okay, the build is done. Let's go and look at the artifacts. Okay, the two things are generated. Okay, so anyways, even if I open it, I don't see because this is a package. Yeah? I can't see the content. Let's close this and go to releases and then go and edit a release. Here also I'm not making any changes. Okay, just for your this is the one. Anyway, let it be disabled. Okay, I'm not making any changes. Let it be like this. Okay, now go ahead and create a release. Some error is been occurred. Let me see what is that. Sorry, IAS deployment failed. Though I disable the task, the parent is still what do you say? Edit pipeline. Go here. This is still works, right? It will try to connect your deployment group. Deployment group contains one server. It is trying to connect to my server, but the thing is my server is switched off. Yeah, we switched off the server, right? Let me go ahead and switch on the server. This is a demo server ATIM. Got it. Refresh. You can see the status changing here. Okay. Refresh. I'll just give a one more minute, because even though it is started, it takes a minute or so to start all its services on any server. Not only the virtual machine, you take anything, be it your laptop, anything. Let us say your laptop is started. You try you may try to open some folder or something. It may take some time, right? Because the processes are not yet started. So okay, I think it should be fine now, because I'm using 8 gig RAM. Let's go and create a release. So, or else the easiest thing that I can verify is go to and try to connect to the server. Okay, the server is started. So this give me confidence that okay, my server is started. Okay. Let's go and create a release. Hit 39 just started, right? Again paid. Oh, still it is showing target server as offline. That's what I said. Okay, let's wait for a minute. Let's, and it automatically gets started. There won't be any issue.
Purna, what kind of issues will be facing generally, not apart from the connection issues?
No, this issue you will not face it in reality, because this is a demo. I switched off my server. Okay, that's why your release pipeline is not able to connect to the server. But in general, you will not, you will not switch off the server, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I'm just asking you what kind of general issues will be facing. Like whenever there is a, right now we have seen is the since we have switched off the server, that is why we could not able to deploy.
Correct.
But what kind of general issues we'll be seeing? But I could see a lot of couple of questions that are coming in the interview. How you will be handling it? These kind of questions we are facing.
So you tell me one question in the interview what they asked. I will, I will expand those questions.
I'm just asking you that what kind of general issues will be facing. But,
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about it. So let me complete this and then we'll talk about it
sure.
towards the end of the session. Okay, let's create a release. Started. Yeah, now it is
So
running.
every time you make a new build, the previous artifacts are overwritten, no? Is it, am I right? In the IAS server.
I didn't get you.
So previously we have deployed some artifact into IAS server. Now we are
Yes.
starting, we have created one table and we have created one stored procedure, and we are starting that release pipeline newly. And
Right.
whatever artifacts are stored into IAS server, that those will be overwritten every time.
You need to see, basically you take a backup every time when you give a release. That's a standard.
Okay.
See, even if I don't have a backup, I don't have an issue, because I have my older copies on the Azure pipelines, because it will retain your older artifacts. So generally people take the backup, but in my gut feeling, you don't need to take the backup, because I'm already having the older releases on my server. Means on my server means in my Azure DevOps server. If something goes wrong, I will redeploy the older version. I don't need to, because taking backup is again a older ways of doing your work. But if some people still want to take a backup because they don't know the concepts, what they can do, either they can go manually take a backup, or they can use some PowerShell script which copies your folder to some other place. As simple. There are many ways. Okay, now it is building patch for the QA database because that is my target database server. So in the current scenarios, right, never go ahead and take a backup. I don't advise, because as I told you, we have all the older versions, and we seen in the let it go. We have all those options here. If you go to the edit release definition, you have, right, how many months you want to retain the history of your releases. All such kind of stuff is there. You can retain for 6 months, or you can retain forever. Nobody cares about it. A report is being generated. Okay, creating content. Okay, procedures. It's done. Yeah. Okay, let's go here. Right. Let me refresh this tables. Okay, I got my new object, and then let me refresh my stored procedures. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I was thinking. I mean, but it was the same situation. I get this stored procedure script also in the same folder, but it looks like probably there might be some update. I don't know. I never checked it in the recent past. So now what happened? Let's go to Solution Explorer. So it created another folder called programmable objects for the table, but it used to be in the scripted. I mean, the newly generated snippet, it used to be there. Probably there is some update, but anyways, it changed. Okay. Now you see, right? Though we have the two scripts, 1 and 2 in the migrations folder, it only picked the latest one. That means which is not deployed. Okay. So you may think that, okay, I can create n number of scripts without deploying to the target database, right? It doesn't do like that because you are not doing it manually, right? Let us say you created one script today by making some 2-3 objects. Tomorrow, if you go and add another 2 objects and refresh it, right? It will go and update that existing script only because it hasn't been deployed. It makes that, I mean, it maintains all that history, which script is being deployed, which is not deployed. All that history is being maintained. It's in its metadata tables. So we don't need to worry about all. Okay. So guys, I mean, this is what some of you guys missed in the previous class. You said that you couldn't hear it, but this is how it works. And irrespective of the sprints, how many sprints you are going to work, you will do the same thing. Some people will work on their dev database. You come to database project, just do the refresh and then import and generate scripts, and then your final option is verify. You will get all those options. Just 3 steps, your scripts will be generated. Just push it to your repository and then build it and then release it. That's it.
Can we see that in Azure?
Yeah, which databases? Yeah, you can see in the Azure database as well. That is a beautiful beauty, right? Let's go to your uh, home, and then you want to see in the QA database. Let's go to QA database. This is frequently used. The favorites will be showing on the front page. How you can see there is a query editor preview. You can use this. Okay. Of course, I have to give my user ID password. See, whatever you are seeing on the server, so this is also connected to the database server. This is just a page. This is just a web page where you are connecting to your databases. Yeah, they recently added this feature. That's why it is still under preview, because people are asking. We are doing everything both from the portal, Visual Studio, and Azure DevOps, right? Why can't we add this feature to portal as well? Let us say some administrators probably they want to see with a minimal. I mean, they may not. Sometimes what happens? Some administrators may not have that SQL server on their desktops. So in those cases, it will help. Let us say I'm giving a demo. Even in our perspective as well, I don't have SQL server. I can straight away come here and create some script and then do that. So a number of purposes. Okay.
Can edit the query from here on.
Yes, you can create the query as well. You see, you can go ahead and write a script. You can write a script and then you can run the script. It can be alter, it can be create, it can be anything.
Can delete it from here as
Yeah, you should be, because you can create a delete statement, right? Delete table, table name. That's it. Everything can be done. Okay. So now, yeah. So what you can do? So let's go to our release pipeline, guys. Let's look. Let's have a look at this. So first, go to build. So this is where is that NuGet package? This is the NuGet package name I given, right? This will be every time it is same only. So if you want to give something, you already have the variables here, right? Let us say build number, etc. So you can take probably, or else you can add a build number. So build number, you can look at the variables in build. This is what is this? This is a build platform, right? It can be build dot number or build number. You can add it, and after that you can come here and use it like this, and then dollar, and then your variable name, whatever you used it. So every time you generate, it will create your string plus your bill number. It is as simple as that. After that, what you need to do? Let's discard it. After that, you have to come to the releases. You need to update here as well, because here this part, right? This part is automated, right? Here also you need to use the variable. Otherwise, it will not come, because it will still take the older version. Okay. Anyways, we will be doing some more stuff. We can add it there. Okay. Okay. That's about how your build and release pipelines works in multiple sprints across your application development. Let's go and do some other stuff. Let us say application configuration. Let me open my
Purna, I have one question here.
yes.
When you are when in the migration script, sorry, in the database, whenever there was a change in the table, it is create and you are creating a new store procedure. Why the two things are not coming under the single package, like a single migration package, and every
Yeah,
time?
that's that's what I was explaining. It used to be in the same script only. Okay,
Yeah.
even in last month as well. I don't know why it created a new folder with programmability. Probably there could be some change to the extension as well, because this is all automated. I need to check, but it has to be under the migration step.
So if this was the case, we need to verify that our scripting steps, like why it. I mean, there was a step in there which was not joining these two things, right?
Okay, you mean to say how it is generating the scripts? You want to verify that?
Yeah. See, because once you are when the database, when the Visual Studio is creating a script, I mean creating a package, why it was separated? That should be in the part of our
No.
script. Then
It's not the Visual Studio which created the package. It is a SQL change automation extension which created the package.
Okay, okay. So there was an I mean, and we need to identify that area where why it was not adding these two
Yeah.
things.
See,
Yeah.
generally, if you are using paid, right, it will be notified, right?
Yeah.
Because we are free versions, right? Okay, probably we need to go and look at that one. Okay, because I also don't remember sometimes. That's the reason I wanted to give it a try by building it, whether it will create the procedure or not. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is a very typical thing, right? The next thing, I'm just going to the next topic. So you have your code, and now you deploy to the dev environment. That the typical things that will change from environment to environment is a minimum is your database. So for dev, you will have a dev database. For QA, you have QA database. So as part of your releases, when you are deploying your code from one environment to other environment, you need to update these connection strings as well. Okay. So generally, people follow multiple ways for maintaining these things. Few people maintain one web.config per environment. So let us say for local, it will be obviously you have to have a web.config, then only it works because your Visual Studio knows only web.config. So what people do, they will create a 3 more folders as well. Web.qa.config, web.production.config or web.uat.config. Everything will have the same copy of setting, but with the different values. Let us say for a production database, it can be production DB1, etc. So, but what is happening? You are maintaining multiple copies of the web.config. That is one way. I mean, most of the people follow that one. Few people use web.config transformations. So this is a very traditional and old concept. In the Visual Studio, you can create a web.config transformations. Still, it will have a multiple web.config, but this is a kind of little automated. And few people use some Python scripts or Perl scripts to update your web.config values, which changes from environment. You don't need to do all those things. In Azure DevOps, it is simplified very nice. Okay. Uh, if you, I mean, if you know VSTS or TFS, right? It was a little difficult in that one as well. That means you have some replace tokens, and you also need to know some DTD transformations to update your web.config values as per the environment. But in the Azure DevOps, it made very simple. It's a matter of minutes for you to make environment specific configuration change. Okay, how we do it? Let's go and see it. So let's go to our Visual Studio. So not right now. So this is the web.config, right? So as I told you, people go and add multiple web.config, web.pa, web.dev, etc. Okay, but I'm not going to maintain multiple configuration stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to, so the typical things that you can see is your app settings, and there will be one DB settings. So is there any sample DB setting here? No, right? So we will add it. That's okay. So first, let's go and add some keys. So I want to access some API from Google or some Facebook or anyone. Let's go. I will go and add uh, key equal to Facebook path. Okay, this is my key name, and value could be, let us say, HTTPS Facebook.
What is this web.config? Can you explain it? Actually, we are new to .NET.
Yeah, so web.config is the place where you keep connection information or configuration information. Let us say you are connecting to the database, right? Okay. Basically, your application connects to your database. So you need to have the user ID, password, and the database name, right? Those things will be kept under your web.config, such kind of stuff. And also, let us say I just added one key because my application uh, authentication mechanism is to authenticate with the Facebook OAuth. So there will be user ID and password and the URL. So this is the URL, and then I also have a user ID and password. For just simplicity, I will only add key equal to what is a user ID value equal to some. So this is my user ID. So I'm not giving password because it will be safe. Now what happens? Let's check in this. Okay. Now I would say this Facebook URL is applicable for my dev environment. For the production environment, this URL could be auth prod, because every vendor will give different URLs. Means one for production, one for a dev environment. Because if they give you production stuff for your testing purpose, you will screw the production, their production, right? So for testing purpose, they give one URL for the authentication purpose. For the production, they will give another URL with user ID password for that one. So what happens when you deploy this code to dev environment, the URL will be https facebook.com/authdev. And if it is a production environment, when we deploy to the other server, it will be auth prod. So it changes like this. So now what I'm going to do, I'm not going to either. So people do like this. They deploy it as it is, and they log into the server, open the web.config from the folder, and directly change it there. But that is a manual activity. I don't want it. And some people use, as I said, different web.configs. Now I'm not going to do different web.configs. I am going to use only one web.config. Okay. So what I do, I'll make it as a placeholder. Okay, that means let's copy this first, and let me comment it. So what I'm going to do now, the key, right, let it be like this, that this is the name, key name, and the name will not change, only the values will change, right? So what I'm going to do now, let's go ahead. So I'm going to create a placeholder here. The placeholder format is underscore underscore some name underscore underscore. Okay, let's do like this, and I'm say API, sorry, underscore underscore API URL, and then underscore underscore close it. So this is how you create a placeholder if you want to update your web.config dynamically. Okay. In the similar way, I will update this one as well, the second key. So again, underscore underscore. This is a user ID, right? I simply give user ID, again underscore underscore. Done. Now let me go ahead and check in this code first. Okay. After this is done, right, you go ahead and check how it is being done in a VSTS or TFS. You see a very complicated stuff to do. So now let's go to our build pipeline, and first look at the repos if my code is here or not. Okay. So what did I change? This is under .NET DevOps demo and my web.config. So you see this, right? API URL and then underscore underscore user ID. I have my data here. Now go to build pipeline, and I'm just going to build it. Let me edit it because we disabled all that stuff, right? Okay, this is all I want. I don't want analysis stuff, and I don't want my DB stuff also. Let me disable this because it takes time otherwise. Okay, now save it. See, I haven't made any changes. Okay, first I want to queue this. So now I'm using the placeholders, right? Where exactly I'm going to use those placeholders? I'm going to use this in the release pipeline because you will change the values after the deployment or the before the deployment, not during the build. Okay. So let's build it first, and then I will go to the release pipeline. Then we have those placeholders, right? I will declare in the variable section. Yes. Correct. Those concepts are still carried because those are standards, right? These are the activities where you might be doing, you might be spending hours and hours to do it. Now it became minutes and minutes. Let us say, correct, correct. So the CPU configuration, that's what you have in the Visual Studio. Basically, if you take a Jamarian project, it will have an Android and all. It's done, right? Okay, no, no, it is. It will run for a minute and then it will stop because I haven't made it. Okay, done. Now let's go to releases and then edit the definition. You go to the variable section. Now I am going to add a variable with the same name what I given in my what do you say? Uh, yes, web.conf key values. So let's go ahead and add. I prefer to copy paste it. No, they in the web.config only you keep the underscore underscore, but in the release definition you don't give underscore underscore. You only give without underscore underscore. Now the value, let me take it. I already have it here, right? Let me. This is anyways. Uh, this is anyways commented. So this is my, let us say, dev. Okay, and you see there is a scope here as well. Okay, if I say release, right, it will be available for all the environments. Right now I only have the dev environment, but in the coming classes I will be adding the other environments as well. Okay, for the time being I will make it dev environment because I don't have any other environment. Okay, in the same way, let's go ahead and add user ID. Now I'll delete that underscore underscore. That's it. I will say something I given. Okay. Now let's save it. That's all you need to do it here. When I am in the other environment, what I do, I will go and add the same key names, but the values will change and the scope will change. So for the time being, what I do, let's go to my database server. Let's go and look at your content. So this will be under C colon inetpub www.net DevOps demo, and this is my web.config, right? Let's open it. More apps, not bad. So right now I don't have any keys, right? New keys. Okay. Now let me close this. Okay. Now I'll go and okay. Now let me tell you how it works. Okay. So now I created a variables without underscore underscore here. So if you go here, let me now enable these tasks and IAS web app deploy. You go here, IAS web app deploy. There is a file transform and variable substitution. This is the task they added in the Azure DevOps. And by default, it is selected XML variable substitution. And this is the option I also needed because my web.config is a XML file, right? Internally, it is a, this is an XML, isn't it? And I have my placeholders defined. And I given the same name in my variable section as well. When it is doing the release, what it does, it will go and check with the web.config, and if it sees any placeholders like this, it will go and look for the variables. If there is any name with the same placeholder name, it will replace the value. Okay. Now let's go ahead and save, and then release it. I did not. It's okay. Anyways, once our job is done, we can go on. Logs. Oh, IS deployment is done, right? Okay, I'm good actually. Let's go ahead and now we made this changes. That's okay. You can forget it. Our IAS deployment is done. Let's go to our one 339. This is the latest one. Let's open. Let me expand this. It did not update, right? It is still as a API URL and user ID, user ID. No, it has to update. Probably I missed it. Facebook URL, user ID. Sorry, I think I should give this Facebook URL. No, this is same only user ID and just give me guys. Let me check it. Did I miss anything? Let me disable it first before I run it. Okay, finish the key. generally I have the habit of giving the same names. Let us say I give an underscore API key, right? And I give the key name also same. So that could be my memory back. Let's go and check it if it is done or not. So it's done. Very quick. Let's go and, okay. So the first one is commented. You seen? Okay. This is commented. Okay. The next one is this is what earlier we were seeing here underscore API key, and you are seeing under here user ID. So the mistake I was done was I did not give the key name should be given. This is the key name, right? I have to give the key name instead of giving the key name. I given the value that underscore. So that was the mistake I did it actually. Okay. Okay. Anyways, we got it. Now, sorry, let me minimize this. Okay, it's not only your app settings, right? You also have the connection strings. So you have only two. One is connection string, another one is the app settings. So the connection strings probably comes after this one. Okay. So it will be some connection string. I don't remember now the connection string, but I will give some value here. Let us say it will be initial catalog equal to dev db, and then the server could be server front. Anyways, I'm not checking any connectivity stuff here. The server will be let us say it will be like some Azure DB Purna demo data Azure. It can be anything. So you generally have like this. So this is how it looks your connection string. Okay, forget about the internal thing because I'm not going to connect your application to here. So we also need to automate these connection strings as well, your database stuff as well. In the similar way, we will do the update. So I will do it tomorrow because I'm also going to add the other stages and everything. So as part of that stages stuff, I will add this connection string placeholders and will make this automated. Okay. Guys, for today, that's it for me. Now, please, question and answers. Mhm. Azure pipelines. Azure pipelines. Azure artifacts is different. Azure pipelines is different. So all your build definitions and release definitions are getting stored in your Azure pipelines. There is one repository internally, but you can see the history. When you go to the history of your build and release, you see everything. Okay. Azure artifacts is for your dependency management. That means you have your NuGet, you have your Maven. Uh, right now we are using our public NuGet. Let us say you are a big organization, you have too many reusable components, and you can share it with your teams across the organization. So you can maintain your own NuGet version. So that is a dependency management. Yeah, we are covering that in the Azure pipelines. when you do a drop down, let's see the latest one. So you can give the specific version as well. So let's go to release pipeline, because we always go with the latest one, right? Right. So, but you can go. Let's go. Let's open this. Default version is latest. Specific at the time of release creation. Latest from the build pipeline with tags or specific version. These are all the build numbers. These many builds. So in old days, if you remember, right, these build numbers are maintained as part of your Jira or someone. They keep these numbers there. Right now, we have everything here. Okay. So here you can go and select anything. Basically, we need to maintain some kind of difference documentation as well. That means, you are getting the release emails. Basically, I'm getting the emails. In that emails, I'll get all these version numbers. So that is also. I'll get the emails also. So it's for each and every build or the release. I'm getting the emails with all these release numbers. Yeah, yeah, because these are the default options that are provided by your Azure DevOps. We don't need to for mandatory things, right? Failures, successful, everything is done. But if you yeah, that you can publish. Right now, I'm the user of this one. That's why I'm getting. We've seen right in the project settings, we have the notifications. You can go and add the users. Let's say you create a group, add some 3-4 members, whoever you want, and then add that group to that notification stuff. That is available under your project settings. Okay. So you have all the features retained and additional features added. So that's how you do the rollback, right? Let us say I want to roll back to my previous version. How I can go? That's why I'm telling you don't need to take backups. You already have the artifacts. That's a tracking. We were talking about the traceability, right? So you go to your, you edit any definition. Let's leave it. So you have the options here. This is what we said. You can go and so you can. This is already enabled for each release or build. For each build, your work items are linked. Okay. And this is a build formats we are using. And in the same way, see, you can add many other stuff as well, like what work items to be added, and also you can create if something is failed, you can create a work item in the your Azure boards as well. Okay, this is all automation related. In the same way, and you see the history as well, like these are all the builds I given so far. Okay, so it basically can go and you can do the difference with your older versions. You have so many things that you can explore. And in the same way, in the release pipeline, you go and edit. Again, you have the same similar kind of versions. So this is where you maintain your format. We get the emails with the release icon with this revision number. Let me go ahead and open my email. This is 841, right? This is the old one. This is this my account? Yeah, this is one only. Okay. So you will get emails like this. Deployment to dev failed. Okay, and this is the release number. Okay, what you see. And then this is your artifact name. And all the information about the release. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's what. This is a beauty actually. So if you are using a TFS or something, right? Probably if you are using TFS or if you go for an interview, right? People are, hey, how I get a release notes containing what commits, what work items, etc. So you used to write some PowerShell script or something to grab all these details from different definitions and create it. Now it is now that's what you don't need to do scripting and for the same thing, right? People write PowerShell script and let us say that API keys I told you. For some of my projects, I have the Python scripts in place. They're not using options. The reason they used to the scripting, they can do it, but this is a skill set problem, right? Now, if it is on Azure DevOps, it doesn't require any skills, but we need to explore it. That's where the experience comes into picture. If you don't have an experience, you don't know all these things, and you will not explore it. Exactly. Right. Correct. So that's what, right? You are having experience. That's why you are able to think, okay, these are all the things I've done it. How I can do it in the latest version. Okay. Yeah. Guys, Anfon, these are some of the interview questions that you may get as well. Okay. Okay, guys, it's 9:25. So I will close it for today, and I will again catch up tomorrow, and we will get into some other advanced topics. Okay. Have a good day. Thank you.
So hello.